Ever since I started doing photography, I have been using Fujifilm cameras. I started photography back in 2017, and slowly but surely I got better and learned more, and so I had to upgrade. And year after year I started upgrading, and eventually I landed on making video content. So I got my hands on the Fujifilm X-H2S, which has been my main video camera for every single video you have seen on this YouTube channel. But this is a bit different. Today I have something with me that I thought I would never buy or never get my hands on. And in this box is exactly that. So let's unbox this together and see what's inside. This is exciting. Holy. This is the Nikon ZR. Believe it or not, ever since I started doing photography, I've only shot APS-C, and I actually have only shot with Fujifilm cameras. Not to take away from any other brand, just to keep it nice and simple to explain why I could never afford full-frame cameras. See, when I first started photography, my mom said, hey, if you're gonna start a new hobby, better pick something cheaper, because just in case you quit, you wouldn't have spent $4,000 or $5,000 and you wouldn't regret it. And she was right. When I picked up a Fujifilm camera for the first time, it was very convenient, it was very easy to learn on, and lenses were just cheaper. I couldn't afford Sony G Master lenses, I couldn't afford Canon lenses, I couldn't afford Nikon lenses. And now things have kind of shifted and kind of changed. All right, register your Nikon ZR to get benefits. You have a USB-C cable. Oh, 1-year warranty. And we have here is the user manual, which no one ever reads, but we will keep right on the side. So what are the reasons that I got a ZR? How come I didn't buy anything else? How come the ZR was finally the camera that I decided to buy? Well, there's a few reasons. So as I said, I've only shot with Fujifilm cameras and APS-C cameras. And I love those cameras, I always do, and I will not get rid of my Fujifilm cameras because that is mainly what I shoot with. But I just wanted to try something different. I want to try full frame cameras, and I've never tried a full frame camera. And here we have the battery. All right, makes sense, rechargeable, as all batteries for cameras are. And I was looking at Sony cameras for a long time. I was looking at the FX3 and, you know, the cinema line of Sony cameras, but again, I just couldn't justify the cost, and I couldn't justify the lens cost as well. And if you've seen my Instagram, you probably have seen, you know, the little postcards that I do, and I've been loving shooting video, and, you know, having a cinema camera is something, it's just different. It just feels different. It's a way to level up and, you know, evolve, and it's a way to evolve our content together and move on to the next step. The main reason why I went with the ZR instead of a Sony or anything else was the price point. This camera is cheaper than other cinema line cameras, especially when it comes to, you know, to full frame. And, you know, the price point was perfect for me. I thought it was the right chance to, oh, look at that, here we go. Look at this, this is beautiful. There you go, pop the cover off. There you go, full frame sensor, my first ever full frame camera, which is super, super exciting. Never thought I'd ever own a full frame camera. We have the camera strap, which I don't really use camera straps. Well, I do, but not the manufacturer's own camera straps, but you know, might keep this, put it here on the side. And let's just clear this out real quick. But two of the main reasons why I actually got the Nikon ZR are trying new things, because I always say on this channel, if you're not putting yourself in, you know, new situations where you're learning something new, whether it's learning how to use a new camera or learning color grading or about new codecs, just learning in general and, you know, getting better at what you do, then you should be learning, you should be improving, you should be moving forward. Now, the main reason why I got this was opportunity. Because of you guys, and thanks to all of you guys, this channel is now over 10,000 subscribers. And I know it's not a big deal, but to me, it's really important. And I've been passing up on emails for a while that are, you know, hey, have you ever used the full frame lens? And I always go, well, no, because I shoot APS-C, and it's a whole thing. But I do feel like with this camera right here, especially its video capabilities, I think this is a great chance to get more opportunities in the future and to just, you know, expand my horizons, if you want to say, learn more. Now, I'm not trying to cause a, you know, brand war. I still use Fujifilm cameras. I have an X100 shooting the top down, and I have my X-H2S right there. So this is no brand wars. I don't really care for that. You can use any camera you want. I really don't care. Like, it means nothing to me. But let's go back to the main show. This is the Nikon ZR, and you know, let's talk first impressions. But yeah, this camera feels sturdy. It feels like a tank. Apparently it's made of a magnesium alloy, so it is also fully weather sealed, which means you can take it anywhere in any condition. And if you're a person who's traveling and, you know, making cinematic videos and you know, in rough weather conditions, then this is a great camera to take with you. So first thing I noticed straight away is the build. The grip is interesting. It's not as good as the X-H2S, but I like this, you know, texture over here. It makes it super grippy. There's also a place right here for your thumb to rest, which is kind of interesting. So super cool. So yeah, handling, you know, handles pretty well, pretty decent, fits in my hands. My hands are pretty large, so this is pretty cool. And you know, the grip is not the best, but the thumb rest right here makes it much easier to handle. Now, when I first look at this, other than the build quality, the thing that I cannot ignore, the elephant in the room, is this huge screen on the back. And this is freaking gorgeous. I don't know why other companies don't do this. This is so nice to have. This is so big. Having a screen this large is actually unbelievable. It's actually unreal, and it's actually one of the coolest things about this camera. So apparently this screen is color accurate, so it also covers 100% of the DCI P3 color gamut, I believe, which means it'll be color accurate. And with a size like this, I don't really think that I need to put a monitor on this if I'm shooting solo by myself, to be honest. If you are shooting with a crew, then that's completely different, but having a screen this big is actually really nice to shoot solo, and I super appreciate this. This is great. Now we have some ports on the side. Let's see what we have. Let's open this up. All right, very sturdy port. 2 audio jacks, you know, one for the microphone, one for the headphones. I believe both are 3.5 mil. We have an HDMI and USB-C port. So let's take a look here. Okay, so this uses a micro HDMI, which could be a bit annoying to some people. It doesn't really bother me that much because, as I said, if I am going to be using a screen with this, it'll probably be with like a bunch of other people. But by myself, I don't think I'm going to use a screen, to be honest. So micro HDMI does not bother me at all. Right off the bat, you look here, there is a hot shoe mount, but there is no viewfinder. And if you're a person who really needs the viewfinder, then maybe this camera is not for you. I'm personally not a big viewfinder person unless I'm using my X100, which is rigged above. But yeah, if I'm shooting a video with this, I'm most likely not going to be using the viewfinder much. So it's not something that bothers me too much. If you've seen my GFX 102 Mark video, you can actually remove the viewfinder on that. So yeah, when I was shooting with the GFX, I didn't really have the viewfinder on, but there you go. That's the hot shoe mount. I have the power button and a very nice, obvious switch that goes from photo to video. Very nice to have. Pretty cool that you can just flip that quick. I'm guessing this is a zoom rocker. I'm guessing it's a digital zoom rocker. We'll see. I don't know much about this camera other than what I've seen from other people, so you have to bear with me. 3 custom buttons, I believe, on top, which is very cool. Let's just close these ports up real quick and give a nice look for the camera above. So very nice switch right here. Yeah, but let's look at the bottom, right? Let's see what we have. All right, so we have our tripod mount, and here you go, battery. Oh my goodness, this is sturdy. Okay. All right, so I'm guessing the memory cards go here as well, and the battery goes here. So this is where your battery goes. I believe this takes a CFexpress Type B, and funnily doesn't take an SD card, but it does take a micro SD card. So they're thinking, you know, packing as much as they can inside this small, nice body. I'm guessing CFexpress goes here. So I don't know if you can see this, but the micro SD port is like right here. CFexpress is right here, and the battery goes here. And there you go, it's battery. Obviously arrow down. And close it up. Gonna have to charge it, but yeah. Now let's talk about what excites me about this camera. Why is this camera so good? Why is everybody raving about it? Why is everybody talking about it? And why did I actually spend money on it? As a person who really never thought about buying a full frame camera, why did I get this? Well, I already mentioned the reasons why I wanted to move to full frame and why I got the Nikon ZR, but here's what excites me about this camera. First things first is the ability to shoot in NRAW and Red RAW, and basically so many other codecs that I have never used before. But we all know Red, we all know Nikon bought Red, and you know, this is the first Nikon Red kind of cinema collab camera, and having Red colors and, you know, codecs on this camera is going to be super, super exciting. I can't wait to shoot with this and color grade and test things out. So having the ability to have more control over color is something that really, really excites me. But I do want to learn more about all the other codecs, and I do want to learn what suits me the most when it comes to workflow, what's going to be the best for storage management, at least for me, for my memory cards and my SD cards. I don't have a lot of storage, so I need to, you know, work around that, find the best workflow for me. It also does ProGrade RAW, but it also apparently does 12-bit internal RAW recording up to 6K 60, if I'm not mistaken. So my X-H2S does 6.2K in 10-bit 422, I believe 6.2K up to 30 frames, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this takes it, you know, 2 steps further with 12-bit and 60 frames per second. Now, another super cool thing that I can't wait for is low light capability. Obviously, shooting with mirrorless, you know, low light has always been an issue, so I always had to get, you know, the lowest aperture lenses or the highest aperture lenses, if you want to think about it that way. So basically f1.4s, f1.8s, any lens that, you know, can bring in a lot of light. But when you're shooting full frame, obviously you're going to have better low light performance. And the two dual base ISOs on this camera are 6400 and 800, while on the X-H2S, which I was using, it's a base ISO of 1250, and some people did some research online and found the other dual base ISO to be 4000, which is not bad, it's decent, but it's not 6400. So I'm super excited to try this in low light and actually, you know, go out at night, get some night footage, night videos. Super, super exciting. Now, another thing is the Z mount. Obviously, Nikon Z mount is pretty adaptable. There's third-party lenses that you can use, and adapting also cinema lenses to this is going to be super fun for me. I've always wanted to get my hands on cinema lenses and film something nice, something cool, something different than what you see on my channel, and this is the great chance to do that. Now, the way also this differs from my X-H2S is obviously autofocus, and you know, I love Fujifilm cameras. It's just the autofocus has become way better than what it used to before. Honestly, like it's improved so much, so much from when I first had the cameras back in 2018 and 2019 and 2020. Things have become really good when it comes to Fujifilm autofocus, but Nikon and Sony and Canon have their autofocus nailed down, and I can't wait to try this camera to see how good the autofocus performs and not have to, you know, worry too much. When it comes to Fujifilm cameras, you need to know how to use your camera, and you don't need to know the ins and outs to nail focus and not mess up. I think this is more user-friendly, where the autofocus is going to be really good from the get-go. And the coolest, probably one of the coolest things of this camera, it's the world's first camera that has 32-bit internal audio recording, whether you're using the internal mics or using a shotgun mic or an external mic. Apparently it has 32-bit float audio recording. So this means no clipping. You can yell in the mic as much as you want. You will not clip your levels, and you can get clean audio every single time. But yeah, these are the main reasons why I finally switched. I did not switch. Why I added an extra layer. I did not switch. These are the main reasons why I got the Nikon ZR, how it convinced me to, purchase this camera by having a really good price point. And I feel like it was just time to upgrade and move to another level. Learning new things. I genuinely can't wait to learn, how to use this camera, going through the settings, messing around with it, testing it out. I'm genuinely super excited. I've never used any other camera other than Fujifilm before, so this is going to be a learning curve, and this is a great time to start learning new things. Now, the funniest part in all this is I spent a lot of money to buy this, and I did not really buy any Nikon lenses, but I will get my hands on a few lenses later on, and I'm super excited to try them out. But yeah, if anyone has any recommendations for full frame lenses, drop them down in the comments. I'll be more than happy to check them out, whether it's third-party or Nikon lenses. Let me know. But yeah, this is it for this video. An unboxing, first impressions, and a bit of a comparison with the Fujifilm X-H2S and why I bought the Nikon ZR. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you pretty soon.